Hello, hello, and welcome to Topical Tuesday, August 15th, 2017. Yes, it's the 15th. As always, I start out by sharing my rhino of the day, and today it's a simple, tiny little gray and white rubber. I think it's some kind of rubber rhino, kind of bendable rhino. That's about it. One of the about 1,000 rhinos in my collection, the symbol of the entrepreneur, and that's today's topic here, is as entrepreneurs, we are the ones, the percent of those in America anyway, reports show, that have chosen a life of freedom and control over our income, our daily activities, what we do, who we want to work with, what we choose to sell, what we choose not to sell, who we don't want to work with, where we want to work, all that kind of stuff. We take advantage of that freedom, and then we happily, as the company grows, we employ other people who choose to give up that freedom in exchange for the security of having us and other people determine where they work, when they work, how much they get paid, what they have to do, blah, 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 blah. But the 87% love that security and therefore give up that control. Now they also complain all their bosses suck, which includes me and you and everybody else. Yeah, we suck and everything sucks. But you don't see them doing what we do and taking the risk and going out and starting their business. They rationalize, saying things like, oh, running a business isn't for everybody. Really? Then what about having kids? That's running a family. Running kids, you're in charge of the kids, you're in charge of the family. And how about having your own place to live? Aren't you in charge of the household? So running a household isn't for everybody? Look, of course it is. But most people will choose to take the alternate route. So here's the deal. I am seeing social media go absolutely lunatic lately, although I don't think it's any different than it ever is. Maybe I'm just seeing it more. But this whole, is it not, am I way off base here? To me, it's just completely comical and entertaining, all the craziness going on in our political world these days. Like Congress has they never get anything done. It's been decades. They have an approval rating like in the single digits. I don't know who those single digit people are that approve. I think what they do, they approve of Congress doing nothing. And that would include me for the most part. The less government activity, government control, government doing anything, of course, is fantastic. It's the only way that America has a chance to function properly. However, once in a while, you get people in leadership, in government, that have the opportunity to do things that cut down the government overreach and control into our lives. So you see that happening right now in this Trump administration. Trump is cutting out a whole bunch of regulations. On the other hand, his Department of Justice is way overreaching in terms of stretching into people's lives and trying to control us, them, whoever, with who you can and can't marry, or what you can and can't smoke or drink, or this or that, or, whatever. I mean, so there's overreach, there's eliminating government overreach elsewhere. When it comes right down to it, whatever budget, if Congress does come out with a budget, it's almost undoubtedly going to be bigger than it was the year before anyway. So everyone's paying attention knows there hasn't been a difference between the Republican and Democratic Party for decades. Anyone in government has the same job as anyone running a business. If you're running the government, your job is pretty much identical to all of us running a business. What's your job? To increase the size of your business, to increase the size of the government is pretty much the job of anyone in government. I mean, the worst thing you can say to them is like, I'm going to challenge, you might lose the next election. You might lose your cushy, incredible job. The actual dollars they get paid from the government, these people in Congress or the president or wherever, or the president's not even taking a salary, as if it matters anyway to any of them. It's only like a couple of $100,000 or something to any of these congressmen or anything. But the perks are unbelievable, right? They get all this unbelievable travel expenses, and they get all these donations coming flooding in that floods them to go all over the place and do anything they want. And then once they retire, they're going to put their name on anything they want and have millions of dollars come in for basically doing nothing and just leveraging their influence, and the whole sordid game continues. But anyway, what I'm talking about here is, and it is Topical Tuesday, I'm taking this topic of this Trump derangement syndrome and just urging all business owners, entrepreneurs, to turn that around. Thanks for all the likes. I just opened a window on my page, so I will see who that is. Maybe I should move it over. Jerdog and somebody else, thanks for being here and thanks for the likes. I just had to copy and paste this, and it's a good thing I did, because just after I copied and pasted this crazy lunacy conversation I had on social media about an hour ago, the person who put it up there deleted the whole post, and like had to be like dozens and dozens or 100 comments or something. I mean, I bowed out of that conversation when he came on and said, "Oh, stop all this fighting." I was like, "Fine, I'm not fighting." He was like, "Oh, Steve, I know you're not fighting, but I guess somebody else was fighting." So I'm like, "I'm out of this thing anyway. It's just Trump derangement syndrome." That was basically the whole post. So obviously I won't name this person. This person is a successful entrepreneur. That's what made it even more frustrating to me. Is a very sharp person who is a successful entrepreneur, allowing things that just absolutely don't matter, people he'll never meet in his life, like, affect him. So here's the deal. The post was, "I'm saddened," and then it was about something else that Trump said or did or whatever, as if there's been a president, certainly in my lifetime, I've lived through a dozen presidents so far, and however many or more lived through, I can't imagine it'd be any different. Every single one of them has said and done incredibly whacked out, stupid things. Not to mention that people on either side of the way out on the edge spectrum are way overboard on what constitutes something that's positive or negative that any of these politicians says or does or whatever. When it comes right down, hopefully you're too busy to pay attention to this nonsense. The 13% of us that run businesses and are entrepreneurs and are doing things in the world, not to mention so many other people that are doing all kinds of things. I mean, very few people are paying attention to all this nonsense, but the people that are really into it. And Trump does that, right? Trump gets people really passionate one way or the other because he's controversial. So there's a lesson there, although that's not the lesson for today. I guess that's one of them, though. And we talk about this a lot on the Lessons Learned from Donald Trump podcast. You can look that up on iTunes. You can go to the website, lessonslearnedfromdonaldtrump.com. My co-host, Everett Farnell, and I discuss, it's been 70-something episodes, so we've done it for over a year and a half or something like that. And every week, of course, we have a lot of fun with all the craziness and the Trump derangement, this thing and that thing, and the overreacting and the whatever. And what we share, Business Learned specifically, from the things Trump does. And one of the things, hopefully you know, that he's really great at is creating controversy and getting all the attention that way. Now, that works for him in business, of course, obviously, because he made himself a celebrity and got all this attention, and then it actually helped him to get on a TV show and then shoot that up to #1 of whatever, and then go run for office and actually win, for crying out loud. That's all because he knows how to get all the attention, right? So that's a good thing for business, and a lot more about that on that past podcast that are especially about that. Lessons Learned from DonaldTrump.com. But anyway, so here's the post. He puts, "I am saddened by another crazy, who knows what Trump said." You know, it's the whatever Trump said or did of the week, isn't it? I mean, last week, these same Trump people suffering from Trump derangement, the last week, they were all bent out of shape. "Oh, I think the world's going to end." Do we even remember that now? I don't even think anyone remembers that. "Oh, threatening nuclear war. He's going to blow us all up. He shouldn't have the codes. He's the lunatic. He's talking just like the lunatic he's talking about in Korea, and it's crazy, and he's going to blow up the world, and I'm scared, and I'm out of my mind. I can't sleep." And I'm like, you're kidding, right? I mean, people, you are kidding me. Like I said, it's like less than a week later, and you already forget about that because it's over. Because North Korea said, at least for now, like, wow, I couldn't believe it. I did not think that either China or North Korea would believe any of that crap. That, of course, was pure crap that Trump was spewing. And then they, at least for now, they have backed down on, like, launching missiles at whoever and threatening nuclear war against the U.S., whatever they were doing. Like, it's amazing to me they believed it. It was really crazy to me that anyone believed it. But there were all these lunatics all over social media and whatever, like, actually believing this. "Oh, the world might end. Ooh, whatever. If you turn on the TV, oh, Trump is..." People, are you crazy? I mean, turn on that stuff for the entertainment, because it's just, I crack up. I watch that stuff. I'm like, there's no way. But here's the deal. There's no way that political pundit, whoever he is on TV, actually believed that Trump meant what he was saying, that he was saying it to actually like that he wants to shoot off nuclear weapons or whatever, like that. Everyone knew he was doing that to get North Korea and China to do what they did and back down or whatever. Like everyone knows that, but that's not how you get people to watch your TV show. People watch your TV show or flock to your social media page when you put incendiary, off the deep end crazy things like Trump is serious. Wah! Give me a break. So here was this one today. I'm saddened by something Trump said. He must have said something, and I was like, really? And because again, it's a sharp person. Are you really affected by something Trump said or did? Give me a break. I mean, don't you have a life? Like every day, every week, you're gonna like ruin your life. Like you're gonna be all bent out of it. What was it a month ago? You don't even remember. What was it last week? You don't remember. And whatever he said today, you won't remember in 3 or 4 days or in a week or whatever. You just won't remember. So I was like, really? And he said, yes, in all caps. Yes, I am sad. And I was like, my reply, I was like, that's too bad. I hope you get over it and get back on track soon. And his response was, I am on track. My track is to make a difference in the world. Emotion empowers me, not weakens me. I'm like, so now the fact he was saddened, he's now claiming that empowers him. So now I guess that was a positive post he was putting out like, yay, I'm saddened. That empowers me. I mean, people. You see what Trump derangement syndrome does to people? Hey, thanks for all the likes. I will X out of this now because it went on and people are going back and I'm like, I put something on there like they're like, oh, the whole world is watching. I'm like, the whole world? Like nobody I know is paying any attention to this other than for entertainment value. Like the world is not watching. People that are actually doing things are not watching. But when you stay in your own little world, if you really just stay in your own little world of people with Trump derangement syndrome or people that are whatever. I mean, if it's sports and all you talk to is other sports fans of your favorite team, then that's all you're going to talk about. And that's the most important thing. That's what I get a kick out of wherever I travel, listening to local sports talk radio. And I love it. Any pregame show for any team or any talk radio, all they talk about is like, we this and we that. And I'm like, you're not on the team. And then, of course, if the team loses, it all switches to they. You know, like they should have thrown a pass on 3rd and long. Like they should never have put that guy in left field. They should have. When they win, it's all, hey, we won. We did a great job. It's the same thing with this Trump derangement stuff, okay? So get out of this little world, folks, especially if you're a business owner. And I speak to business owners like, stop with the suffering from Trump or anybody else derangement syndrome. Stop paying attention to all these other people with all their other things and their agendas and what they're doing and get your own. I say it often, get on the right side of the register. Be putting forth your opinions. Don't be affected by other people's stupid things they say or do. Say your own stupid things and get attention. That's just what this person did, actually. Putting out this post with this ridiculous, I'm saddened. I mean, no way. There's no way a sharp person can be saddened or affected at all by something that some politician says or does that doesn't matter at all to anybody in the long run, or even in this case, in a week, or whatever he said today. They'll say something stupid tomorrow, and no one will remember what he said today, right? Right. So stop with, unless that, but that was a great job of him, I have to say. That post got dozens and dozens of comments and whatever, and like Facebook loves that stuff. They love all that engagement, and so that ends up being a really smart thing, gets him a lot of attention and whatever. But if he's actually really affected by it, which I wonder if he is, and then he did delete the post. I think maybe he quickly came to his senses and got over it and said, actually, I'm not affected at all by that nonsense, but that guy says or does. It just doesn't matter at all. So whatever. Anyway, that's it for today for Topical Tuesday. I see a bunch of likes. I don't see any comments or questions or anything at all. My advice is don't suffer derangement syndrome over what your favorite sports team does. You know, people get depressed when their team loses. Oh, my team lost, I'm saddened. Trump said something, I'm saddened. This guy did this, I'm saddened. I lost a customer, I'm saddened. This happened. That's all part of life. Other people say and do stupid things, or you think they're stupid, other people are smart. I mean, this all comes out of like this weekend, which was total craziness. That was going to be the topic today. I'm like, since when do, I know protest, like there's a First Amendment, right? Right to assemble, right to protest. Since when are people allowed to show up to a protest wearing riot gear? Like, who allows that? Who allows these ridiculous people to show? I mean, I remember when I was a kid hearing about like permits being issued to like Hitler, KKK or whatever to march in Skokie, Illinois, like a heavily Jewish area. And like, I was like, how is that? What? Clearly that's not for the reason of we just want to gather and have a nice gathering. They want to insult certain people in it. But this is America and that's allowed. But I don't remember any of those people getting allowed to show up for that march down Main Street in Skokie or whatever they did with clubs and masks and shields and what they look like they're in a movie, like they look like they're in the army. I mean, like, come on now, who's allowing that kind of nonsense? So of course you get this radical fringe whatever showing up with their riot gear and another one showing up there, and what do you think's gonna happen? Jeez, come on now. So that is just horrible to see, of course. However, does it mean that therefore I am saddened and I'm affected by it and then I can't be at my best today for my clients and my own business and my employees and my suppliers and my family and everybody? If so, and I'm saddened by that. So cut it out, because I'm not saddened by it, but cut it out. Just stop it, okay? Wake up every day. Determine what you're going to do for that day, for your family, for your business, for yourself, for your clients, for your prospects, for your suppliers, for anybody, and decide that you're not going to be affected by what other people say or do that just doesn't matter, especially politicians, for crying out loud, who all know that they all say and do all kinds of whacked out crazy things they have ever since I've been alive, and I'm sure they will long after I'm gone, and that's just the way that game is played. I mean, do these same people like watch a football game on a Sunday and go, oh, they're hitting each other, that's terrible, they're smashing each other? Or watch a boxing match, big boxing match is coming up soon, I see on the news, like, oh, they're going to kick each other in the face or punch or whatever, it's a martial art, whatever it is. Like, you know, are you saddened by that? It's entertainment, it just is. It is what it is, okay? We're business owners, got to be better than that. I really don't want to get a call from a client saying, how's it going working on my project? And say, you know, I was just saddened today because Donald Trump said something stupid. Like, so therefore I didn't get as much work done as I want. Plus I went on social media and had to express how sad I was and talk back to people back and forth when I just had to do that because, you know, I couldn't control myself because I'm overcome by something that just doesn't matter. Cut it out, okay? That's it for today for Topical Tuesday. My blood is boiling over something that, I mean, just should not be happening. And it doesn't happen, by the way, for most. I put on there like the whole world's watching, like even a minuscule fraction of America's watching. Certainly the world isn't watching at all. Like they don't care at all about this stuff. They're laughing if they are at all, just like most Americans would if they saw what was going on. Well, most Americans are not. So most people are not. So which group do you want to be in? The one that's deranged and flips in the wind and you're going to wake up tomorrow and go, I wonder how I'm going to feel today. Let me tune into something somebody else says or does, and that'll determine how I'm going to feel today. If Donald Trump goes on TV at, you know, or if he tweets out at dawn tomorrow, which he's likely to do, therefore, depending on what he says, it's going to ruin my day, or I'm going to go off the deep end, or even have 10 minutes of derangement or this or that, or be affected by it. Is that your decision? Like, craziness. Cut it out, okay? I'm not going to do that. Client's not going to call me and go, hey, are you affected in a negative or a positive? Are you saddened by what Trump said? Hoo-ha, what? Not going to happen, okay? So shouldn't happen to you either. And it isn't happening, by the way, to most business owners. So I know I'm talking, if most business owners and most people I know that I help would actually see this, but here's the deal. You're not on social media. And I'm talking to you and you're not seeing this. It's kind of funny. But the business owners that are actually busy, too busy actually doing stuff to be deranged by anything a politician says or does, are the people and the people I deal with and the people I hang with and the people I talk to. Nobody gets involved in this crap other than for entertainment purposes. So do you like watch one football game every Sunday, one or two games? Like, that's probably an acceptable amount of entertainment that you take out of your week and you watch a couple of games. Would you watch football games from 9 to 5 every single day for 8 hours a day? Because that's what these anti-Trumper, Trump derangement people are doing, is you're allowing yourself at any given time to just be deranged and affected by this stuff, by this, what is basically, you'll look back and realize it was all just entertaining stuff. It is what it is. It doesn't affect anything in the long run. In the long run, how much you get up and get to work and do the right strategies and use the right tactics and bring something that somebody needs and offer it to them and have them exchange their money for your solution to their problem, that's business. Get up every day and do that, and you'll be one step closer to where you want to go. Get up every day and say, uh-oh, I wonder what someone else is going to say today to throw me off my game and whatever. And you can only blame your lack of success and progress on yourself, my friend. So that's it for Topical Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow with Wisdom Wednesday. Thanks, everybody, for being here today. Thanks for all those dozens or hundreds of likes. I appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow on Wisdom Wednesday. Over and out.